From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome into the most ridiculous podcast in sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hey-o.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this old Mayday beer and let's get after it. As always, Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brewery, the official beer Pucks Out podcast. Join them every Tuesday for Singo and Thursday for Bingo, where you can always make some good friends. Today, we've got the Pacific Division Part 2. We've got a bunch of news from inside and out. We got a joke of the week and much more. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon, Twitch to support the show. How are you this week, buddy?
I am good. I am scrambling. I forgot to get my beer out of my mini fridge here, so I'm discombobulated at this point, Bob. But I'm great, man. Football season is upon us. I will not let the fact that my dynasty team is fantasy gods are seemingly against me. With Cooper Kupp and Travis Kelce already rocking out hard for me. But otherwise, I'm doing good. Football is here. It's upon us. College football has been in full swing for a little bit now. Week 1 just occurred for us there, and so excited, man. Very excited for this time of year. What about yourself, brother? How you doing?
Doing well, man. Just keeping busy. Obviously, work, super busy. Football season, high school football season's in full swing, so staying busy with that. Once that season ends, pretty much in November, we'll have a lot more free time, unless, just like you said, I pull a Friday Night Lights and I end up taking these boys to the state.
You go to the
who
ship,
knows?
dude. You go to the ship,
Yeah.
dude. I don't know if anybody in that world listens, but if they do listen, I don't really care. I don't think that I can be in trouble for telling you to throw. This is going to be like the South Park situation where nobody wants to go, and they just keep advancing. Like you're trying to call bad plays, but they're calling bad plays to, counter your bad play. That's all I'm saying, man. It's just, it's for you. It's not for me. I'm good, man. I want to see you. I don't want to see you have to spend your whole summer, playing this sport that you really didn't even love. You're like, oh, this is a bonus. No, man. But, if you get one of those dope rings and you're like Coach Taylor, bro, it really wouldn't be that cool, but I guess it'd be cool in your circle then, you'd start having like inner politics and stuff, like Remember the Titans, not to that level, but esque, Remember the Titans-esque. And,
yeah.
So, hey, good luck to you. I know that, you'll take the pod far if you can just get famous or something. Like you did all of this, you took them to state just to get a shout out. And so I'll interview you as a state championship coach. Boom, enters our world, enters us into the world of, big time high school coaching interviews.
But all right, let's jump straight into the news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
We have an Erik Karlsson trade.
It's funny. It actually happened.
Penguins in a 3-team trade with the Sharks and Canadians. Go ahead.
Right. We already did our preseason, preview of the Penguins, and I think this kind of happened in that same world, like August 6th, like about a month ago when we did that podcast, and then I think it got lost in translation because I think we had to skip a week. And so it definitely kind of changes or at least my thought process on how we talked about the Penguins, just kind of limping along and just, waiting for their great horses to finally perish.
Yeah.
It was, it's an all in kind of move for them, for sure. A guy that just won the Norris, a very interesting prospect. I mean, he didn't do well with Brent Burns by his side. We kind of saw that. Now that might have been post injury, that type of stuff. Um, but it'll be interesting to see how if he works together with Letang or they are on separate pairings. What do you think
Yeah.
just about the move, and then we can kind of talk about the trade and what went out and what went in.
I mean, Eric Carlson, no matter how he's been the last couple seasons, he's still a top tier defenseman. He is 33 years old. This is probably his last stop in the carousel. He's a two-time Norris winner. I mean, I think that he only makes the team. I don't think he makes the team worse. I think he can only make a team better, even if it's just that locker room presence.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, and everybody knows that was a team that was lacking leadership, Bobby. So bringing in a guy like Eric Carlson is going to really help along guys like Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. He's going to really be able to show him. No, but seriously, I agree. I mean, that's a great locker room presence. It's a guy. I it's a guy that's been to a Stanley Cup final once. I was going to say, a proven winner, but I don't know that that's necessarily the case. But the good news is he gets to go along and play with some proven winners, so maybe they can show him how it's done. I was about to look. Do you? I haven't been able to look it up yet. But how many players have won Norris trophies with different teams?
Ooh, a good question.
Why don't you move us along and I'll see if I can locate the answer to that.
Let's see. He is the 9th defenseman to capture this award 3 times. He is also the fourth. He is the 4th blue liner to win it with multiple teams, joining Chris Chelios, Paul Coffey, and Doug Harvey.
Now I wonder if there's anybody with 3 teams, so maybe he's going to go for that.
Yeah, maybe. Rasmus Dahlin's rumored extension in Buffalo is 8 years and an AAV of $10.5 million. I'm not against that. I think I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep anybody that's willing to stay there in Buffalo, right? Along with Tage Thompson, those two kind of really stepped it up last year together on a team that we kind of thought was bottom of the barrel. So very good signing for them. I mean, I remember him getting drafted. He was playing immediately, and everybody, I don't know about him. Is he a bust? And he really has kind of stepped it up this past. I mean, he was a very young guy starting out, so it wasn't crazy that he wasn't just immediately Chara out there. Wasn't able to absolutely wreck people. I'm looking up his stats.
Let's move on.
Sorry.
While you do that, after 736 games, Michael Del Zotto has retired. Let me see here.
Most people won't know, won't care. And I found out that like looking up stats, it's hard to locate hit stats. Michael Del Zotto is a guy that down the stretch in hits leagues. I don't know about you, but he won me numerous matchups, just on a late ad with some hits. So I had to give him the shout out. He was playing mostly Philly is where I remember him playing when I added him. But I believe he played for the Rangers as well.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Dahlin career stats, games played 355, 46 goals, 187 assists, minus 66. But last season he was plus 12. To be fair, that's his lifetime I mean, he's played his whole career at Buffalo
Wow.
since 2018, so that's not really fair to the guy. Again, man, it's really weird. Most official statting doesn't even show their hits. I didn't really realize that.
That's super weird, and I don't understand why.
I don't either. I wonder if it's gonna. I mean, I bet you it's on like fantasy sites. I bet you I can get his career hits. That's okay. Delzato,
like Hockey Reference.
I try, bro. I'm telling you, man. I even tried to like throw and hit. I mean, it doesn't matter. It was Michael Delzato. I was just like, hey, just this is an appreciative shout out to the guy. I don't feel like we need to derail the show to locate his career hit total. Because like, what if it's garbage? And it was
I found
just
it
like
right here.
games.
It's right.
Okay.
Let's see. Season career. He has 1,672.
Not bad. Over a hit a game. So
yeah,
I know for sure you've got me quite a few, sir.
Oh yeah. But all right, let's move to outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
The NFL starts tonight on the day of release. It is Thursday night football. I'm excited. I've been waiting a long time. Even with as busy as I am, I'm obviously carving out time to grab some beers, watch some football, eat some good food. It's honestly, NFL kickoff should be a holiday. The day after the Super Bowl Monday, and NFL kickoff should be.
To be fair,
holiday.
It should be Thursday. You should get Thursday to Thursday. No, Thursday to the following Friday. So you get like a week and a day off. The whole week's a holiday, except for anything that has to do with like if you sell beer, you go to work. But you get to watch. You get to watch football. But it's triple time, obviously. But they get to charge 3% extra on beer. That's my concession. I'm willing to pay pay a little extra. But that way you get the whole week, you can drink as many beers while watching football. You can even throw college football in there. You get, that Tuesday and Wednesday to rest unless you like, real nasty boy college football, and then you can watch Tuesday college football. And I think they got some Wednesday games now. So really, it should just be a whole week. You do whatever you want football wise. If you don't watch football, you don't get the week. You go to work, and you don't get told. You don't get told about the triple time.
Yep, there is a litmus test that you have to pass.
Exactly. It's just one of those if you know type of deals. They're like, "Where's Steve?" Yeah. He's like, "Well, he's a diehard football guy." Like, what? Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And not on here, but game 1 of the perfect season for Colorado is in the books. I cannot wait to for it is inevitable that we are crowning the new national champions. Colorado in just a couple months.
Prom winning the Natty, huh? Prom winning the Natty.
Yeah, locked in.
I don't see it. I think that he's got a long road there at Colorado after having beat TCU. So, but yeah, no, a huge victory for them. A really good win. And a great start for the program there for prime time. Absolutely.
Yeah. I was talking to my father-in-law and I said, hey, they just went in there and they beat the national championship runners up. And he's like, well, I'm like, hey, everything I just said was a factual statement.
True. And
he's like, well, what was the score of that national championship? And I said, they were the runner-up.
Did they play? They did play at TCU, right? Or did they play at Colorado?
Yes. No, TCU was wearing purple. I think it was at TCU.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought it was at TCU, but I was like, oh, was it at, Colorado? Yeah, definitely a big win. Um, that was absolutely not the. I mean, even though that I got his joke. Yeah, can you really count it? Well, fair enough, but even so, that this
Yeah.
team was not that one. And so it's definitely a long road. They have a lot to prove, but they can definitely do it. He's shown as a coach, he's gotten more than expected out of players. Um, he knows how to recruit. He's a big face and a big name. It seems like he actually, whether he knows how to coach himself or he surrounds himself with the X's and O's guys. There's no doubt in my mind that if you went in every day and prime time was your football coach, he would find a way to get you motivated for sure. So definitely a
Yeah.
big win for Colorado. Uh,
Yeah, I think
and
there was a picture of primetime talking, having like a heart to heart with the TSU, like one of their star players. Everyone's like, "Oh, you know that dude's hitting the
guys
transfer portal for the
transferred.
next day.
He's
You don't have a
already.
you don't have a yeah
The thing is, Bobby, what you don't know was he was always on Colorado. He was sent to TCU as a double agent. He's coming back. He's coming back home. Now that the game is finally over, he's getting called back to the Colorado side so he can finish out his season, man. It's a good call.
yeah.
NFL
Well,
wise. Oh, sorry.
the thing
Go
with
ahead.
primetime is I think we're all I think with Colorado we're all members of primetime's team. We just don't know it yet.
We don't know it yet. If we got a little bit
He'll
of that
get
dog in
everyone.
us, right? He just shows up on your
Yeah.
doorstep one day and he's like, "Hey, prime time calls upon you, and you gotta go. You gotta go. You don't know what job it is, but you know you're in. You don't know where you're going. Colorado State, Jackson State, wherever prime has been called at that moment.
Yeah.
If we sell
But
this right,
all
we can
right,
get Transformers
you had something
fans
to
in
talk
as
about?
well." I was just going to talk week 1, man. Any particular matchups you're looking forward to? We definitely have some notable injuries to start off. Well, as we spoke about earlier, Travis Kelce potentially out week 1. Cooper Kupp is definitely out week 1, potentially going to IR. Jonathan Taylor out pretty much indefinitely. Not necessarily huge fantasy related for most folks, but fantasy related for leagues that we're in. Chandler Jones threatening to sit out till week 8. Honestly, Kelce out, Chandler Jones out. That makes for a much more interesting matchup on Thursday night between the Lions and the Chiefs. Not that I don't believe that
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes can get it done. And we all like to talk about the amazing offseason planning of Andy Reid. Andy Reid is amazing at offseason planning. I would imagine that most of his game plans included Travis Kelce, though, as kind of that linchpin. If Isaiah Pacheco were to go down, or CEH were to go down, or McKinnon goes down, I'm sure he can transfer his game plan to one of those other guys. But something tells me, Bob, that Noah Gray isn't gonna be able to run the same type of uh, offense that Travis Kelce. Now I don't know that, so don't quote me or anything. But what do you think? I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup. I think that the Lions keep it close.
I think they keep it closer. I still think Kansas City by 21.
Yeah, you should lay your money on that then, because I mean that's a handy number, especially in an NFL game. Even if the Lions were bad, 21's still a high
Yeah.
number, Bobby. So go ahead and get your probably get like plus 350 for it. I'll bet. So
Yeah, I think I would say 35. No, I would say 42 to 13.
42 to
Kansas City. I
13.
think it's
This Lions offense that they have done nothing but improve over the offseason from last year that was pretty high-powered, you think 13 points, then you should definitely
I think Kansas
go and
City,
hit their under-team implied total as well. You are ready to go for your Thursday night bets, man. I think you have locked them up. I would not – it's not that I think that you're crazy. These are not outlandish things to say. I don't believe the Lions will win, but I most certainly think that Patrick Mahomes can get it done. But you allow your defense to do a whole lot more if you don't have to worry about the entirety middle of the field and getting beat 9 and 10 and 15 yards at a time from Travis Kelce. It really changes the game plan. Mahomes can absolutely do it, but I think that they keep this game a little closer. Chandler Jones is a pretty big aspect of the Chiefs' defense as well. Getting pressure on Goff is going to be key to slowing down this Lions offense with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery and Amon-Ra St. Brown. If Sam Laporta is what he's supposed to be, I just think it's going to be a lot closer in my mind. Any other notable matchups? Your Commanders have a really favorable matchup against the Cardinals to start. The Titans.
They're going to go in and they're going to they're going to go down and lay a beat down on Arizona. New ownership, new quarterback. I think we go in there 58-0.
Yeah, Bob, that's not even a crazy suggestion. The Cardinals are in shambles, my friend. They are in absolute shambles. I don't think that you have to worry. I'm feeling confident for you and your squad this week. I am not, however, not feeling so confident for the Titans. Go to New Orleans to play the Saints. That's always a tough place to play anyway. I like this Saints team. I think Chris Olave is about to tear us up, man. Fantasy-wise, I'm sure that's going to be an absolutely fun game, but as far as a fan-wise, not so much. 49ers Steelers, I'm very interested in that game. It could be, hey, 49ers are far and above, but I would like to see what the Steelers look like. Falcons Panthers, a lot of great new additions there. Packers Bears, obviously, it's very easily could be the changing of the guard here, and we just have continued dominance of the Green Bay quarterbacks, or does Justin Fields lead his squad to the victory?
I think it's going to be a absolute slaughter in Midway. I think the Bears are going to go in there and systematically dismantle this Green Bay team. I think Justin Fields
I don't think so.
is going to have I think Justin Fields is going to have the best week of any quarterback this week.
Yeah, that's highly possible, but that that very rarely translated to winning for them. So if their team can take a step forward, for sure. Packers had a very solid defense last year. They lost nobody but Aaron Rodgers, which sounds, oh my God, like nobody. But Aaron Rodgers, he did not have a phenomenal season. I think you have some youth in Jordan Love. Bears winning, I don't think that that's crazy. I don't think that dismantling is going to be what happens in my mind. I'll tell you what I do think is going to be a dismantling is I think the Seahawks are absolutely going to dismantle the Rams. Definitely a defense that is much better than I think that folks give credit for. And I also think I don't think it's going to be a dismantling, but I think the Bills go in and handily beat the Jets. I don't think that the Jets are are anything I think they're in a much better situation than they were last year. Much more opportunities to win games. I think they can absolutely make the playoffs. I just don't think that they're now one of the elite teams that we talk about in the AFC, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals. That's more of a prove it to me. before you just say, "Hey, I'm going to go in and shred Josh Allen," and company. So,
Yeah.
what do you think there?
I think we're I think the Bills are going to absolutely shred the Packers. I'm sorry, the Jets. I think Josh Allen's going to have more rushing yards than Aaron Rodgers has passing yards.
Oh, that's a wild, crazy,
I think
awesome
Aaron Rodgers is
stat.
going to
Prop
choke.
bet, baby.
I think he's
Prop
going
bet.
to have I think he's going to have less than 100 yards passing.
No, he's very good at prep and preparation. I think that he will have an okay game. I don't think that he's going to have a bad game, but not anything to write home about. The Bills' defense is pretty strong. I will be interested to see though if Garrett Wilson is everything that he seemingly can be. It could be a very different story. I mean, Garrett Wilson's as good as they're talking about him being, and we got the flashes last year of him. I think that you and I could go out there and toss it up to him, Bob, and and we're going to be Hall of Fame looking quarterbacks. So definitely have what the Jets don't generally have is talent in a lot of places. They have a wide roster and a solid defense. But I think the Bills are. They've got the new shiny quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers is just the better option than Zach Wilson.
Yeah. So before we end off on this, it's a new NFL season, which means we have a possibility of having a tie during every single week of the NFL.
Yep.
We've talked about this before. So if you had to pick a game that's going to be a tie, what are you looking at? I know which game I'm looking at.
Okay. And we'll say that when I get mine in mind, we'll say it at the same time. So that way, in case we have the. Okay, I've got mine.
All right. 3, 2, 1. San Francisco.
Cowboys, Giants.
Oh.
So San Francisco, Pittsburgh was yours. And I could see that. That's two teams that are really scrappy and are in fight for it. The division rivalry on Sunday night. I think nothing could be better than that ending in a tie. So
that truly would be. If I get to see Washington dismantle an Arizona team, and I get to see Dallas and New York go out and tie, that would be glorious.
And and you get to have the Eagles
Philly
plays
New England.
New England can go out there and win, and then sitting atop is Washington for that week. So
yeah,
I'll be rooting for you, bud.
All right, all right. We're running a little bit over but let's head into our main topic. We got our Pacific Division Part 2. We are starting off with the San Jose Sharks. Last season, with 60 points, finished 7th in the Pacific Division at 22, 44, and 16. Their Stanley Cup odds this season are plus 15,000. Let's see. Their points leader was Erik Karlsson. I have a feeling he's not going to be the point leader for that team anymore. He had 101 points. Their second place was Logan Couture with 67 points.
Yeah. Yeah, they are not on the upswing there, Bob. Definitely got the rebuild cranking hard. Added, had a decent draft pick. Who I'm trying to think of who did they get?
I do not remember.
I'm sorry, I didn't have this opened up. Forget, was it? They did miss the playoffs, Bob. I will tell you that for sure.
I wish it was easy to find that on Hockey Reference, like the draft.
Oh yeah, and it's and this is was written early. Anyway, I will look that up. You got any more comments? They really just do not have a lot.
There's
going
really
on for them.
nothing fun about them, to be honest. Their goal leader was Timo Meyer at 31. Their assist leader, Eric Carlson, at 76.
Timo Meyer
I
traded,
mean,
so he is
yeah.
gone.
So they, Logan Couture, is he still there? I mean,
I do think Couture. I think Couture is still there.
he's almost 35.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just. I didn't realize this. Logan Couture spent his entire career in San Jose.
I don't
He's
know
going
that I
on 13
realized
years
that.
there.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, Will Smith is who they got at number 4.
Oh,
That was their highest pick in
and
25
I
years,
guess-
though. So they sold off Timo Meyer. They still have Tomas Hertl and Logan Couture. But they're bottoming out. They're pretty much gonna tank. So not a lot to talk about. Not a lot of prospect. Overall, I wonder where Will Smith will land, if we'll get to see a lot of him, or he'll spend a lot of time in the AHL or WHL or whatever their affiliates are. But I do think, running slow on time, let's continue this train forward.
Yeah. Next up, we've got the Seattle Kraken with 100 points, finished 4th in the Pacific Division under Dave Haxtell. They finished 46, 28, and 8. Last season, they went to the playoffs, winning in the first round in 7 games over Colorado and losing in the second round to the Dallas Stars. Their preseason odds somehow the same as the Sharks at plus 15,000 to win the Stanley Cup.
They cannot be
that
right.
is, I mean,
as
I'm
far
looking
as
at it right now.
as far as like on a website or whatever, but I'm talking about books. Definitely do not have that.
I'm just looking at Hockey Reference.
I am absolutely willing.
Yeah,
I am absolutely willing to throw some money on that for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that are 15,000. You got Ducks, Canadians, Flyers, Sharks, Kraken. The 2 teams that are worse, Blackhawks plus 50,000, the Coyotes plus 50,000. So
that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's just absolutely insane.
Kraken are a pretty like a little bit of an older team. I guess I don't know the like average age in the NHL. Oh, they're the 7th oldest roster though right now at 28.42. Jared McCann, Bjorkstrand, Yanni Gord, Jaden Schwartz, Jordan Eberle, Jamie Oleskiak, Adam Larson, Justin Schultz, and Brian Dumoulin on defense. Every one of those key contributors, 28 to 33. So it's not like they're just some young squad that's kind of, thrown together and got by on athletic talent. They're a good team. I really like this. I really like this squad. I don't know about you. Matty Beniers is going to have a phenomenal year again. I think just won the Calder, and I think it was a very easy win for him as well. So definitely a team I'm looking forward to this season. I am attempting to find and see if the plus 15,000 is legit, Bob, so I can throw down a bit of Skrilla on it. No, DraftKings has 30 plus 3,500, which in itself not bad.
That's much more reasonable.
Don't hate that at all. But absolutely not 15,000. I was definitely going to have to find, all right, I'm going to put $15 on that. Win 15, $1,500.
So I wonder if the stats they're giving me is the stats of the preseason odds prior to this previous season. Maybe
clue.
That's what that stat is telling me.
No clue, or maybe it's giving you a more realistic actual odds or whatever they're determining or what they think is more realistic or whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
maybe Hockey Reference, because they're not pushing you towards a bookie.
Exactly.
So maybe they're just giving you what they legitimately think their odds to win the Stanley Cup is.
This is what we would put it as worth. Are you sure it's 15,000 and not 1,500?
15000.
That's large.
3 zeros
Yeah.
after a 15.
3,500, not inherently. That's not bad. That's not a horrendous number there. I'll look into that. Maybe I'm interested.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm interested in pulling the trigger.
Yeah. All right. Next up is we've got the Vancouver Canucks with 83 points last season, finished 6th in the Pacific under Bruce Boudreau, and then ended the season with Rick Tocchet. They finished 38, 37, and 7. Missed the playoffs, and this says their Stanley Cup preseason odds is plus 5,000 with an over and under of 92 and a half wins. Let's see, their top point scorer was Elias Pettersson with 102.
Plus what?
5,000.
Okay, that guy, it had to have been a typo then. They had to have been doing 1,500. There's no way that there's no way.
Yeah, I'm thinking, because when you look at the other teams that they're putting like with them, like I think someone put an extra 0 and they meant 1,500 for the crowd.
Yes, they definitely did, because the Canucks are 6,000 here, but the Flyers are 15,000, the Blue Jackets are 15,000, the Blackhawks are 20,000, the Ducks are 25,000, Sharks 25. Canadians and Coyotes all 20 plus 25,000. That's not accurate for a team that didn't really lose. Anyway, we're on the Canucks. They really shouldn't struggle, right? They have what seems like a solid roster and all around good players, good defensemen. Good scoring presence, good youth, good center play, good two-way player. JT Miller, Thatcher Demko was the prodigal son. He had returned. He's ready to go, and they just weren't there, man. And so we thought that probably they were going to be better than they were, and then we fell off, and then they were bad, and we've kind of soured on them. However, I remember doing that for New Jersey a year before. We thought that was their year, and they really didn't do anything. They looked bad and kind of fell off on it. And then it actually was the year after, this past year. I got a good feeling about the Canucks. I think that if they can stay healthy, I think this is a good opportunity for them to have a good season. Now this is a tough division. Could that have been part of it as well? I don't know, but it's just the roster. Even after selling Bo Horvat, is still a solid roster. That's all. That's I just see them doing better than they really did.
100%. I agree. I think that this is a team that should make it to the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs, but I think they can definitely make it into the playoffs. Sure.
Yeah, I think they can as well, but I don't know that I'm like confident that they will.
Yeah. All right. So next up, to wrap up today for the Pacific Division, we've got the Vegas Golden Knights.
Were they any good last year, Bob?
We have the state. I think they won a couple games.
They won a few.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, they
won
a couple important ones, but I think other than that,
look into these cats.
We've got the Stanley Cup champions. They finished first in the Pacific Division at 51-22-9 with 111 points under Bruce Cassidy. Then we've got them. Let's see. They won the Stanley Cup final 4-1 over the Panthers. Conference Finals 4-2 over the Stars. 4-2 in the second round over Edmonton, and 4-1 in the first round over the Jets. Their Stanley Cup odds are plus 1,800 according to Hockey Reference to repeat. So, I think that's not a
that
horrible
says
line if
no,
you can find that.
no, not at all. For a team that feels like Jack Eichel's been around a long time, but I mean, guy's only 26. Barbashev, Shea Theodore, Aiden Hill, all 27. Definitely right there in that range of can push again. I mean, we've seen this done in hockey when you get that roster and that team together that just works. 2-3 cups in a row are not crazy, not unheard of at all. I mean, it's happened pretty recently with the Lightning, the Penguins, the Blackhawks, the Bruins. Yeah, I mean, this is something that is by no means a rarity. And you're right. I think you said plus 1,200 to repeat.
1,800.
1,800 is not bad. It's not a bad number. Probably a little low for wanting to put money on something long term, but I mean, not bad at all. I think that this is a solid team that can definitely win again this upcoming season. Will they be able to? Who knows? The West is poised to be tough again. I think the only team that can kind of give them a run for their money that we've talked about today, however, is the Kraken. So we will just have to wait and see. Maybe there are some more teams in the West that we'll be talking about. I guess in a couple weeks, I guess we'll switch back over to the East and finish up with the. Have we done the Metro or the Atlantic? I can't remember.
I don't remember. We'll have to look back, to be quite honest with you. Luckily, it's in the name of the episode, so it wouldn't be too hard to look
easy
back.
money. It'll be easy money.
Yeah. But all right, that wraps up the Pacific Division. Let's move into Joke of the Week.
The weird.
Corey Perry.
See, I don't like that. Wild. I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it. Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
Kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
All right, you found this one. What do we got?
Texas woman suspected of DUI after hitting "Don't drink and drive" sign in Palm Springs. If it's true, hilarious. If it's not true, also hilarious, because then you got to go through the whole rigmarole of, are you drunk? It's like, no, I'm just an idiot. I was fixing my makeup or whatever. She was arrested. Okay, I'm now reading the article. I'm now reading the article, Bob. She was arrested earlier today on suspicion of almost hitting a group of pedestrians before colliding into the "Don't drink and drive" signboard during a DUI checkpoint. So,
yeah,
I don't want to be the guy to rush to judgment, Bobby. But context clues are not leading me to a place that is not close to judgment. That's all I'm going to say. It was shortly after midnight. Let's see. Making sure. Electronic signboard stationed at the specific Canyon Way, Taquites. And it was struck by a vehicle. The driver nearly collided with a group of pedestrians leaving their theater before colliding with the signboard. Why? Oh, it was at 7 p.m.
Why is
this at midnight?
Why is that checkpoint so close to a movie theater?
So close to what I was picturing, Bobby, it didn't say movie theater. I didn't skip it out. It said leaving the theater. So I'm thinking of an improv troupe. It's like they fake got hit by this lady, like it was improv for them, and they got this person in trouble. They're like, they almost hit me, but really they jumped out in front of the car practicing their
Yeah.
improv. Honestly,
no one
we
told
gotta
him you have to
investigate
stop
this.
yes-anding when cops get involved.
The safety of the pedestrian was ensured. Well-coordinated actions of officers and our dispatch. So, see, it sounds like this is all just coordinated to entrap this poor girl into driving into the sun and having a hilarious news story. It's a slow news day, and they set this poor girl up.
Yeah. What an absolute joke. But all right. I mean, nothing's better than hitting a don't drink and drive sign while you're drinking and driving. I mean, well, I guess someone not drinking and driving would be better. But
right.
All right. Let's move into our. Yeah. We've got a question from the internet. You thought of this one. What is it?
All right. If you could disinvent one thing, what would it be? What do you got?
I have a serious answer. I'm trying to think of a funny one.
Okay.
But my serious answer is money. Just no more money. Everyone's hanging out.
You mean fiat
eating,
money?
Just chilling.
Again, you're just disinventing the item. So, like, money's not going to be there anymore.
The idea of money?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can disinvent. I mean, like, we'll just invent it again. That's what I'm saying by the nature of it.
Oh, yeah.
You can disinvent it, like, but you're never going to be able to stop. Like, it's like you can say, "Oh, I disinvent organized religion." Okay, well then, but now if like you disinvent and there was never had been any religion, then like we would just get together on Sundays and talk about like fantasy football or something. Like it would just be a different, you know what I'm saying? So like you can disinvent it,
yeah,
and just like more hope that like there was like version 2's better, or if you just want to see chaos, like you absolutely can disinvent money. And then just like all of a sudden there's no money, or disinvent the idea of money so we don't know what it is. But again, people like their shit. And so I'm not just giving you my stuff, Bob. I want some of your stuff. And so like what'll eventually happen is people don't have the stuff. They don't like want to have to like switch, you know, their Xbox game for for food or whatever. Money will it will just start to happen. They're like, hey, what if we use these old Nokia phones, and like we'll all say this Nokia phone is worth 7 pigs or whatever you want, Greg. Like you get to choose what your Nokia phone is worth to you.
Yeah.
And so like it'll be
like that episode of Family Guy. It'll be that episode of Family Guy. We're like, all right, guys, we gotta get rid of the government. Now, guys, It's been crazy. So what if we all just elect somebody, because we're all busy, so all elect somebody to vote for you?
I'm thinking
it's not a government.
I'm thinking more of the Rick and Morty The Purge thing, when they stopped the purge, and then the whole idea ended up being one day we just kill whoever breaks the rules. And it just ended up being a purge. So yes, absolutely. So my funny idea, again, it's gonna I mean, you'd have to imagine it happens, but how quickly I'm disinventing the wheel, Bob. I'm gonna chaos. Chaos is absolutely about to ensue for at least a little bit. Because, and again, I want to stick to your idea of I've disinvented the idea that we've ever had the wheel.
So now I have to follow up on that. If we disinvent it, does that also disinvent anything that was based on the wheel, like cogs and stuff like that?
No. I just think that like. I don't know. Like, it's just like a magic thing where like, we don't now anything that's just a wheel. We know what cogs are. We know what springs are. We know everything that's like based off of it. Like how quickly would it be until it would have to be very quickly. So, right. Or I guess the better thought process is you go back from when it was invented. And I guess you wouldn't really be able to tell that. So the wheel is more of a funny one because we're always talking about reinventing it.
I'm thinking of like I want to see if what I can do to cause absolute chaos, and the wheel's a good one.
The wheel
But
is.
I'm thinking, and honestly, I think what I'm about to say could actually make a really good Rick and Morty episode. You brought up Rick and Morty, and I'm thinking of Morty's has that assignment due, and he's like, oh man, if only I had more time, and he's just like, what if time doesn't exist? Just the notion of time, we break the universe. Just space and time, it's no longer time. It's time no loger exists.
Right.
And Rick's like, God damn it, Morty! What'd you do, Morty? You broke the universe, Morty.
He turns it in, and it's okay because time isn't linear. You're talking about you're talking about.
I gotta wrap this up in 23 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it reminds me of Interstellar, Bob, and I've been seeing these videos of me trying to stop myself from drafting Cooper Cup 3 weeks ago, and it's the scene where he's behind the bookshelf. He's like, no.
I have never seen Interstellar.
Oh my gosh, bro, you got to see Interstellar. Yeah, so the wheel, definitely would love to disinvent that. Let me hit you with this, and also this would be accepted by the person who did it. I mean, I'm sure it would happen very quickly, but pop-up ads online. I know that it's not as prevalent as it used to be, but things popping up on your screen that are just now a part of the website are essentially pop-up ads. The guy who invented them actually super regretted it, right? He was very wasn't cool. Yeah, just go with it, Bob. Nobody knows. It was 30 years ago.
Yeah, 100%.
In the 90s.
He told us. Yeah. We had an exclusive with him and he told us.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think you can't do social media. I'm sorry. I was just going to say you can't do social media. You would have to specifically pick a social media that you disinvented.
Yeah. All right. Let's move into what are you binging? I actually started this show last night for the first time ever, and I am hooked. AP Bio. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Super funny. I've seen the first season and the first half of the second season. Dude, it is so. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I absolutely, yes, down for it.
And I'm really excited for your binging because I've seen the show and I have binged it before.
It is a very good binging. Modern Family. I've always heard it's good. It was never anything against it or anything. I just never sat down and watched it. And lots of great actors in it, and lots of awards. You always get Family Guy and lots of shows make fun of, and Always Sunny. Do their Modern Family takes to try to win awards or whatever. And, I was like, what is this, a sitcom? I never really. Phil Dunphy, I got it now. Why he won so many awards and he was. It is the quintessential level of acting to every little option, little scene, little saying, little noise that he makes is absolutely the best thing ever to have been done. He's so good. Also, I mean, again, everybody is so good in it. But I think him, Cam, obviously, and Gloria, as Sophia
Ed O'Neill,
is. My gosh, okay, so those actor wise, I think they absolutely kill their role. Favorite character gotta be Manny, dude. Manny is my man. Manny is my dude. When he's he's sitting there and he'll be just drinking his espresso, dude, and Luke is the same age as him, but always Manny is my dude, for sure. So yeah, Modern Family. I think I'm season 3. Stephanie has seen it, so it's the rarity of her having seen something and me not having seen
it. Yeah. So I would say that the later seasons, when the kids get older, Luke becomes one of the best characters on the show.
I can see that.
Phil work off each
Yes.
other so well.
Oh yeah, that is
And,
definitely
it's so good.
Agreed. I can see where that's going, and I like how, because I've seen, Stephanie was watching some of the later seasons again recently, which is why I was like, oh, I'll watch it. And so I've seen, kind of some scenes with him, and he was very funny in it, and older Manny's very funny. But I like how Luke was always very dumb. It wasn't like it wasn't the Flanderization of him to making him dumber as it goes along. I'm sure there is some of that, but he was always extremely just not maybe not like dumb, but like aloof in a different sense for sure.
100%. All right, and then I think you get a bunch of guest stars like Jesse Eisenberg comes on the show for a bit.
Oh, for sure.
Matthew Broderick. Yeah, I mean they get so many good people on there that it just becomes. I think Edward Norton's on there for a little bit. They get such an amazing good guest stars on there.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move into what's snapping your stick.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
All right, so this weekend was a holiday weekend, and my holiday was not the best. We were out of town over the weekend. Had myself an absolutely amazing time, though. We're there, Saturday, got to go enjoy some college football in Asheville, went to breweries, had an absolutely amazing time there. Anyone who didn't get to enjoy their full college football experience, I feel bad for them. But on the way back on Monday, we blew a tire, and we were sitting there the night before, and the wife and I were like, "Hey, we've been meaning to get tires. Let's put that on the to-do list for this week." All right, yeah, that's definitely, we're going to drop it off, get some new tires because we can tell they're getting old. And of course, we jinxed it because we blew a tire on the interstate on the way home. So tire bullshit is my stick this week.
Well, at least you were already going to be budgeting for it. So
yeah,
money wise, I mean, hey, you're not dead. I mean, Megan's okay, right? Like,
yeah.
You're like, no, man, she's not doing well, man. Bro, you haven't told me. Oh, yeah.
I just drove on it. I couldn't tell her.
Or you just
3 more hours.
Or you just drop it on me now. Like, I'm like, oh man, my bad. I'm like, all right, well, and you don't cut it. You just like put it in. Like, all right, gotta head to the hospital, man. Yeah. So glad you guys are safe. Mine. I was going to talk about this last week, and I changed up the game. Me, I'm always getting into little wars and tiffs and whatnot, Bob. I invite them, I guess. I don't know why, but we got some roaming chickens in the area. They're not my chickens. They're afoot. We're not going to discuss chicken ownership or whatever. But I'm trying to let my dog out. I can't with chickens out there. The hens, no problem. I use my famous trusty racket Bob. You know about that bad boy. And I kind of just shoo them out. They go. Well, the rooster. Can
I ask? Can I ask? Okay, I was just to ask: are they roosters or chickens?
There's all
a game changer.
All roosters are chickens, Bob. Chicken is the overarching term.
I know, but that's why I'm at.
They're hens.
Well, I meant like, are they hens or roosters?
A rooster. There's a rooster.
Oh,
and
that rooster's gonna kick your ass.
You wanna hear the story, or do you not, Bob?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I shoo him out, and from what I've read at this point in time, now that I do everything that I'm not supposed to do to a rooster, or at least that rooster you're not supposed to do if you don't if you can't beat up a rooster, don't do these things for sure. But I don't care. Like, I'll get him out of the yard and he'll go out where I want him to go. And so I'll talk raw to him. I was like, okay, I'm a punk. He's a punk bitch, like him and his whole family are cursed, and you just whatever is coming to my mind, I'll give it to him. I'll hit the racket on something or whatever. And then I'll just turn and walk off. I don't care. Most of the time he'll like fake like he's coming or whatever. And I'm like, come on, bro, let's do it. Like, let's like absolutely make my day. I want this. And so he tries to sneak. This one time, this past weekend, he tries to sneak up on me, and all of a sudden I hear the dude. I turn and I have that racquetball racket, and he's there. And Stephanie was out there. She saw me, and I was like, and I ganked him, dude. And I got it right where his like neck intersected with like his skull, and it like right at the titanium racket, and it like tried to go for the second attack, and it looked like it was like spazzing out, walked over into the yard and just like fell, dude, and just laid there. And I was like, I told Stephanie, I was like, dude, you saw it coming at me, bro. I was like, I don't want to have to do that to him. Like, he did this to himself. So then we decide, are we having the cover up? Are we going to cover this up, or are we going to tell, we decide. I was like, look, I'll do whatever. I'll lie to whoever you want me to lie to. I'll cover it up. They'll be like, we have a video of you doing it. I'll be like, that's a bald face fake. That's a deep fake. Like, that ain't me. Fake. Like, I don't know who that is. Like, I got your back. Like, I don't care. I was like, but the thing is, if there is a death investigation, it's not like we can say a dog did this, or like a bird of prey, or a coyote did this. Yeah, they came and broke its neck, didn't leave any bite marks, left the body, and just, bounce. Like, dude, this is not going to hold up in court. And so we told, and so then it turns out that he's already been attacking and doing that to other people. And, so it was okay that I had murdered him or whatever. I didn't consider it murder him. I considered him an insurgent because, again, I had declared the war, Bobby. I told him about the war. This wasn't some secret war. He knew. So I felt better because he was already declared an enemy of the state by his own people. So that's good. That's easy money, dude. Like, I don't have to worry about anything. Well, I go back to check out on the body like 15, 20 minutes later, and that body is not there, Bobby. That's not there, Bobby. It's not there, bro. And so now I've talked a big game to this guy. Like,
now, question.
Why do you make me do it?
When you went to go check on the body, did you have the racket with you? When you
you guy. You know I did, dude. Like, okay, go ahead. You kidding, bro? Like, no, I don't walk out in the yard anymore. Like, it's an active war zone, Bobby. Like, shots have been fired, dude. So he's not there. And so at this point, I'm like, well, Stephanie's out there. He's plotting his revenge. Yeah. Hey, all right. Like,
some chicken run.
I started this, I'm going to have to be a man. I'm going to have to finish it as well. Like, but I'll tell you this, I've caught some of the hens out there in my yard. He'll come across the street from my yard. He still puffs up at me and cockadoodle doos at me. But it's super funny, Bob. Old boy I guess he forgot the direction into my yard, man. He doesn't seem to make his way over anymore. So who's the real winner here? Because that's all I ever wanted was you to not come, dude. And I'll tell you this, Bob. I'll lay him out again, bro. And this time I'm going back with the shovel, bro. I'm having some chicken. You want some chicken? We'll have chicken wings. It's football season, baby. You can never have enough chicken.
Or he's playing the long game, and he's finding a way into your house to get you while you sleep.
Hey, This is, hey, all's fair in love and war. And I started this war with this chicken. But let me tell you this, Bob. He better find a way into my house. I better be sleeping, and I better not catch him, dude, because he gonna get what he got last time, dude. And I mean, he gonna wake himself up and find himself in a garage again. That's his aunt texted me. It was like, "Is this him?"
Yeah.
And it was like walking confused around their garage like all days. I'm like, yeah, that's him. He looks a little more upright than the last time I saw him, but yeah, looks like the same cat.
Yeah. Over the next couple weeks, he's just calling in his boys, and there's going to be like, they're just going to start doubling. You're going to walk out. There's going to be 3 chickens, 4 chickens.
Let me tell you this, Bobby. They better all sneak attack me because I got a shotgun, bro. And I'll tell you, I don't care how many chickens are coming at me at once. If they get in a tight little pattern here, I'm going to be fine, dude. I'm going to be absolutely fine. And chickens, going to have a war, bro.
So my father-in-law was telling me a story a while back how like they had bought a bunch of chickens and they were told it's a bunch of hens. And it was like 12 or so. And it ended up being like 7 roosters and the rest hens. And so now they had just a bunch of roosters, and they had gotten rid of some, and they kept some. And there was one that was just the biggest prick in the world, but they didn't want to kill him. They shot him with BBs. One day, he said that pretty much whenever he attacked him, he had a punishment for him. He would stick his head underwater. He really didn't like getting his head stuck underwater, but one day he was just acting a fool. He said he was sat there for like 20 minutes. He was pretty much waterboarding this chicken for like 20 minutes.
Right, like, I mean, okay. Oh, you didn't want to kill him. Like, good for you, I guess. Like, oh, thank goodness that we just waterboarded him. Like, oh, it was only torture, everybody. It was only torture. Like, bro,
yeah, this is okay with Peter, right?
Like what you did is absolutely against the law. Like, you as like a livestock owner can definitely slaughter your chicken. That's no problem. But I doubt that they're like, yeah, like you can slaughter them for food, or, you know, you sell them, or also waterboard them in case of and also, you know, no offense, like the roosters are terrible, and I'm not trying to stand up for a rooster. I'm just saying, though, I also would be a dickhead if you shot me with BBs and waterboarded me. Like, you radicalized him. You radicalized him, and you're like, why doesn't he love America? Like, bro, you got him living in Guantanamo.
They pretty much yeah, it was weird when my father-in-law put a mask over his head and like made him like, and
he like made like he made you
shape.
He made you film a video of like you like making the chicken listen to like heavy metal.
To be fair though, a couple years later, we received a video. It was 2 chickens with AKs. They made my father-in-law read a script.
They had. It's like, sad.
They're treating me well, I promise.
They haven't been waterboarding me. Chickens are notoriously eye for an eye type folk.
Yeah. But all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week. But until next time, for Brandon, I'm Bobby. This has been the Pucks Out Podcast.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.